How's it going, Goomy Gang, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've said that. I know I haven't uploaded in about 2 weeks. That is unlike me. I don't normally go this long without uploading, but I had to take a little bit of a mental health break, which is really important. Also, Warzone is a bit stale at the moment. There's not a whole lot going on. So it's basically the Verdansk waiting room. We're waiting for patches. We're waiting for new content. So things are a bit stale. But of course, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I just want to let you guys know, quick little update on me. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk about the main focus of this video, which is the Haymaker spammy shotgun. This is the Modern Warfare 3 spam shotgun, just like the good old Origin 12 from Verdansk days. I wanted to give this shotgun its own video and talk about it because I know it's definitely one people have been curious about. And since the Black Ops integration, or at least some point in the last couple of weeks or months, there has been a little bit of a change to this gun because it does actually have a 2-shot potential now with Dragon's Breath, which was never the case. And a spammy shotgun like this having a 2-shot potential can be incredibly dangerous. So as always, check the timestamps below if you want to hop to a certain part of the video, but let's go ahead and start with some basic stuff about the gun from sim.gg. So here we are on the lovely sim.gg, of course, and here we're looking at the base Haymaker. Now here are the damages up close. As you can see, 115, the next range out deals about 90. Now if you look at the time to kill chart, this is just based solely off of chest shots, not averages here. You can see 480, which is really good, only extends out to about 2.3 meters or so. Then it goes to 720 and then 960. So not bad, but it has a pretty steep drop off there at relatively short distances, like 5 meters. That can be pretty hard to deal with. But the reason I wanted to make this video wasn't because of the base ammo, but it was rather because of Dragon's Breath. Because with Dragon's Breath, it does actually change your damage profile, as you might know. And if you take a look at the stats, it says 170. Now I had to go in game to confirm this because sometimes on this site, the numbers aren't quite right, but I can 100% confirm it does in fact deal 170 damage up close if you were fully aiming down sights and hit 5 pellets worth of damage. And 170, that's a 2-shot. So essentially, this thing now has a 2-shot capability, which it never had before in the past, which is kind of insane. Now, if you take a look at what that means in the time to kill chart, that means up close and personal, you have a time to kill of potentially 240 milliseconds, which is no joke. That's basically instant, which is just kind of crazy to have with a shotgun like this that's already pretty easy to use. Now the next range, it's about 480, so it kind of goes back to how it was with the base ammo, and then it drops off, and this drop off is a little bit steeper. It goes immediately to 960 and then down to 1680. So if you're at ranges like 10 meters with this thing, it's just not going to really do much for you. Of course, if you're using Dragon's Breath though, it's going to blind people, so you might get the drop on them and people get really disoriented, which is kind of cheesy, but in all honesty, it does work despite it having such piss poor damage. And if you take a look at the damage at that range, just look how bad it can get. 30 damage, and that's if you're hitting 5 of your pellets fully aimed down sights. This is no joke. And like I said, Dragon's Breath is the main reason I wanted to make this video, because I was surprised to see that it does actually deal 170 worth of damage. That really is a lot of damage for this kind of gun. These things usually don't deal that much. They're usually a 3 or 4 shot up close. This thing is a 2-shot. So I'm not sure when exactly this happened. I thought I remember checking this earlier on in the seasons and it wasn't this strong, so maybe it got a little bit of a stealth buff, but I honestly think that maybe it was just something I overlooked, and that with the introduction of Black Ops 6 and the 5 pellets worth of damage mechanic, that it just really got this buff and that was it. But again, I have to mention this thing at range, not really good at all. If you want more range capabilities, just take off Dragon's Breath, but in all honesty, put on Dragon's Breath when you use this, because you're probably going to get some amazing 2 shots, some really great 3 shots. It's still got amazing potential up close. So even though it's really, really bad at range, you can still blind people. And hey, there's also the fact that with a bigger magazine, you don't actually lose any movement speed. So you can swap on that 20-round mag and you'll do just fine. The one thing I will say about that though is that with the 20-round mag and the bigger mags, they still impact your handling, so you're going to lose quite a bit of your sprint to fire speed. And that, in my opinion, is one of the weaker points of the Modern Warfare 3 shotguns, is that all of them really have a bad sprint to fire speed, and even though there's attachments to use for it, you really have to kit it focused on that if you want a decent one. With the builds I look at, you're still above like 150 or 180 sometimes, so it can get pretty rough in that regard, so you really have to keep that in mind and maybe kind of pace yourself and don't sprint around too much on the map, at least when you know someone's around. Maybe you should start patrolling in that case, or start kind of walking around. So if you want a good overall balanced build to run with this shotgun, here is a fun one I created that's basically based off of movement speed and having the 20-round mag with Dragon's Breath. So we're using the Jack Slash, even though that hurts our tac stance spread, which, by the way, tac stance is great. Definitely use it on this thing. In my opinion, it can be worth it for having a little bit better of an extra strafe speed in gunfights, which is really nice. The 20-round drum mag, of course, no stock because we really need it. It's tac stance, so the recoil won't be as bad. bad, and hey, it doesn't matter on this shotgun as much. Then we have the Razorhawk Laser Light. This is more for a little bit of a better spread, but mainly for that sprint to fire speed boost we get, because with the 20 round mag, it's really going to hurt us. And then Dragon's Breath, of course. There's different ways to kit this out. Another good one I had was to basically take off the Jack Slash and the laser and put on the big barrel and something like the X10 quad flash to get some really good range. And so what you end up having is this really nice 2-shot range. We're talking like maybe the 3 to 4 meter mark, and you just kind of have to tap people twice and they're just dead. It's actually a lot of fun. Worked super well with that build as well, but again, the issue, bad handling. The mobility is okay, it's just the handling, mainly the sprint to fire speed, that can really get you into a bind. Overall, this is a really, really good shotgun, and with Dragon's Breath, it has so much potential up close, it's definitely worth checking out. And in my opinion, it's definitely an A tier shotgun. Now, it's not an S tier shotgun in my opinion, simply because the handling's a little wacky, it's not really super good, and honestly, the drop off for damage with this thing, even with Dragon's Breath, is so bad that it just really hurts to use at anything at like 8-10 meters. It can be really, really difficult to handle. It's not unusable, it's not terrible, it's just you gotta be careful, and this really is something that is going to reward you for being super, super close more than a lot of other shotguns, and it's also going to penalize you a lot more than other shotguns if you're at like anything past 8 meters. It's just really going to hurt you, so keep that in mind. Of course, play with the build as much as you want, try out some different things, rocket and tac stance like I always recommend. So I hope you guys enjoy using it, and now that's going to do it for this video. So as always, down below in the comments, let me know what you guys think about this shotgun. What do you think about it with Dragon's Breath, without Dragon's Breath? What about using the conversion kit? Is that something you guys want me to check out? And with all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.